Welcome to USA Biz Party, the chat after the chat, the party after the party. I am your host, Anna Scheller, and it is my privilege to lead you into some discussion based on the chat we just finished on Twitter today. So if you're joining us live, thank you. Thank you for being with me. If you are on the replay, do say hello, put R in the chat, let me know that you're here. I get those notifications, and I will reach out to you and say hello back. So I'm so glad that you're with me. I want to take a few minutes to thank my cohort in crime, Esther Ocampo, excuse me. She is out of Ireland, and just a little history on USA Biz Party. It was started by the tweeting goddess, Samantha Kelly. And Samantha got so busy with her own chats over in Ireland that it's as a friend of hers, and also she was mentoring me at the time, it seemed logical for me to bring the chat over to the United States. So I bought the chat from her. We've been running for 4 years. And so we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary, looking for ways to make our chat better for you. So if you're watching this and you have a suggestion, something you'd like to see, go ahead, put it in the chat. We love to hear from the people who are participating with us so that we know exactly what you're looking for, what's going to make things more valuable for you. Well, I also want to thank our sponsor, Capri Temporary Housing. Yes, it is my company, but my company pays for all the little pieces that come together to make this chat possible. Plus, they actually let me do this. Not that the company has a choice because I'm the owner, but it's important that we make the time to reach out to companies that are supporting social media and working to make social media a better place for interaction. So today we were talking about audio chats. So what are audio chats? Well, audio chats are the social media platforms where people can actually speak to one another and hear each other talk. That was something that has been, I'm sure, on the books for a while. Last year, Clubhouse seemed to have the big push with it. And of course, Clubhouse made a big splash with iOS users. Clubhouse, when they started, I do believe they still require this, that it is an invite only. So participants in Clubhouse actually get so many invitations that they can extend to their friends on social media and invite them into the app. So it appeared that it was exclusive initially. However, it as long as you have an iPhone, and I think it's for Android users, you'll have to forgive me if I'm not caught up on that particular piece of business there. But for a while, it was just iOS. Then Twitter Spaces came into play. I know there's some other platforms that are out there. Twitter Spaces came into play. And Twitter Spaces is different in that you didn't have to have an iPhone to participate if you were getting the fleets. And so a Twitter Space is pretty simple to join. You can see them in the fleet area of your Twitter account, and you can click on anyone that you want to join. There is a limit to the number of people who can be speaking on the quote unquote stage. Clubhouse does not have a similar limit. Of course, I could be wrong. If I am, I do invite your feedback on that. But Twitter Spaces does limit the number of people who can be speaking at every given time. Over the course of time, there have become protocols in order to enable the people who are on the stage, those are the people who have the ability to speak. There are protocols in order to give people opportunities to speak, as well as making it easier for people who maybe can't hear, can't see, in order to be able to follow the conversation. Twitter Spaces now has captioning. I don't believe Clubhouse does. There are a couple of other platforms that have started up as well. But the purpose for today is just to talk about the benefits, the drawbacks, and what you can expect when you are on an audio platform like Clubhouse or Twitter. So what are the benefits? Well, I think a lot of us are enjoying the fact that you can get on Twitter Spaces or you can get on Clubhouse. You don't have to dress up. Even for this particular event here that I'm doing, I decided, I should probably put on some makeup, probably put some earrings in. But on Twitter Spaces or Clubhouse, I really don't have to do that, right? I can just get into the app and I can start talking. And that's one of the easy, simple things about it. The other one is that you're actually having a conversation with somebody, whether it's on Spaces or Clubhouse or another platform. So in our chat, of course, we're pretty limited to what we can put in the 280 character space. However, when it comes to Clubhouse or Twitter, you're not limited. It's about talking to people. And that, of course, creates a better bond between the participants on the platform. A lot of people like the fact that you don't have to dress up to get on one of these platforms and that you can do it just about anywhere. A lot of people are enjoying the fact that some of the platforms have created a monetization feature to it. I believe Clubhouse has done that. And inside of Clubhouse, there's also clubs. So you can gather together a group of people that get the notifications when you're going live, or you're going to have a meeting, or you're going to go live. And those people then get notified, and particularly if your club is about a special group. So on Clubhouse, we have the USA Biz Party Club. So it's specifically, it is specifically geared for small business owners who want to talk about a variety of topics related to running and growing your small business. So on USA Biz Party, we cover topics ranging from social media to outsourcing to advertising, marketing, sales, personal development, all the topics that really feed into helping us become better business people and growing our businesses. Well, those are the same topics you'll find inside the Clubhouse USA Biz Party Club. On Twitter, I don't believe we have that capability yet, but the people who are following us on Twitter, they'll usually, if they're looking for a space, they will hop in and they will join. Normally, now, the big thing about the spaces, the big thing about the rooms in Clubhouse is the value lies particularly in how well the moderator is managing the room. So if a moderator is allowing just anybody to get into the room, then you could have trouble. There won't be as much value there because the moderator is losing control of the room. But if the moderator has good control of the room, allowing people to express themselves on the topic, then the rooms can be very instrumental and informational. And so the rooms inside of Clubhouse, the spaces inside of Twitter Spaces, they can be a tremendous source of information. It's best, if you want to speak in those spaces, that you are actually talking, you have a direct relationship with somebody in particularly the moderator. One, because you're more likely to get an opportunity to speak, but two, so that you have a feel for how the room or the space is going to go. Now, what are some of the drawbacks of audio chats? Well, I think there are two big drawbacks that I see. And again, if you're watching this live or you're on the replay with me, I would love to get your feedback. But the two biggest drawbacks, one is that just like any other social media, it can become a time suck. So when you're engaging in those audio chats, you want to limit the amount of time that you're spending in the audio chats so that you're not allowing that to take over more important tasks that you need to be addressing during the day. Okay? I know that kind of sounds simple, but let's face it. How many times have we thought, well, I'll just check Facebook or I'll just check Twitter, or I'll just jump on LinkedIn for a little bit. And before we know it, an hour and a half has gone by and we're like, oh, I didn't need to spend all that time. Well, in an audio chat, that's an extremely strong possibility. So you really have to manage your time inside of there. And it can be hard because if you're waiting for an opportunity to speak, then and it doesn't come to you because of a large room, then you have to make a decision whether you need to get back to that task or you're going to wait around. Again, those are decisions that have to be made in advance. The other thing about it is that in a big room, you just may not get the opportunity to speak at all. So you may go into the room just to get information. Again, it would be important to know the moderator, to get to know the moderator of the room, so that if you have something of value to share, that they're aware of it and that you're invited to come up to the stage to speak. Or in the case of Twitter Spaces, you're given that opportunity. In the spaces and the clubhouses that I run, the people who are invited to speak are people that I have to know personally, that I trust to get on the stage and stay on topic. Those are the people. I will invite people to the spaces or into my room, but I'm very particular about who I let speak because I want to make sure that everything that's being said is there to build up the people who are in the room or the space with me. And so this is actually going to be a pretty short and sweet one. I'm getting right back into the audio chat business or the audio chat platforms, as I had a pretty busy summer, as I'm sure many of you did. But I want to encourage you to really dial into a place online where you can actually become engaged and grow your business. You know, one of the things, I was on VC Buzz Chat today, and one of the things that came up, I was asked a lot about sales. And here's the thing about sales. And really, sales is the lifeblood of our business. But if you want to grow your business, you have to get involved and you have to build relationships. Don't build those relationships, though, at the expense of your business, which can often happen on social media platforms. But let me encourage you, find a place. I'm often on Twitter, and we run every week. We run a clubhouse for 30 minutes, then we jump into Twitter Spaces. I have to tell you, the conversations, even though the topic is the same, the conversations are totally different. We get totally different interaction on both platforms. And so if you can afford that time, we'll be moving the time. So be looking in my Twitter feed for the change of that time, or look at USA Biz Party. And by the way, do follow us, please. Do follow us here on Twitter, on Facebook, and also LinkedIn and YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications when we're going live. I want to thank you again for being with me. It's been a pleasure to be back in the saddle with USA Biz Party. Look for us again in 2 weeks. We will be starting our weekly schedule again in 2 weeks. And I can't remember the topic, but I know it'll be a good one. So pay attention to the Twitter feed. Be following us. Make it a great week, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.